Hello, Julie here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am doing a combination of Raoxy's weekly challenges. Week 38 and 39 were very similar, so I'm combining them together. They were both inspired by Rachel's mum and they are both about tags and using fabrics and other items on your tags. So I've made this masterboard and I've put coffee dyed paper on the back. It's still wet, but I'm going to go ahead and use it anyway, and I've put just a combination of neutral papers on the front. Now I'm going to cut this up into tag sizes. Rachel made heaps and heaps of them, but I'm going to just make a few. So I'm going to cut this one at say 3 inches. Now, if you can hear a racket in the background, I have to apologise for that. That's our next door neighbour is having their driveway replaced with, it used to be paved and now they're having it done with cement. And yeah, so they're in the process of getting all their base put down before they can actually lay the cement. So very noisy, but I hope it's not too distracting. I wonder why that's so. Right, now I'm just making, as I said, a selection of tags. Might make this one, say, how big is this? Say 8 1/4. 8 1/4. So if I did 3. And then I did this one in halves, so what's that? That's 5 1/4, so that's 2 1/2. 2 and about that. Yep. So this is going to be plenty. Okay, so I did the boring part before I turned my camera on. So now I'm going to do 5 if I get that far. So let's cut the corners off of this. Let's do them that size. The actual masterboard is done on a cardboard base and has 2 layers of paper, so one on the front, one on the back. So they're nice and sturdy. They're not going to flop about. You can make your tags any size, of course, and you know, you could use pattern paper or digital or any of those things, whatever takes your fancy. Depends what you're working on, I guess. Sounds like they're having afternoon tea over with the workers, so that's a blessing in disguise, I think, for the video. Now I might go down to some, oh no, I won't, I'll go stick with that one. I was just thinking the smaller tags, I might use a smaller tab and corner, but they're still pretty wide. So I think by the time I do these two, I'm not going to be that far behind, which is great because I have been away a lot this year. So I have had a bit of catching up to do. Now the idea of these 2 weeks was using lace and fabrics on your tags. So that's what we're going to be concentrating on. It's not stuck completely there. I used glue stick to attach my papers, but this was right on the edge of the actual cardboard, and it looks like the paper's actually overhanging the cardboard a bit. those together. Should be right. I'll do that one last. Right, so one of the things that Rachel did was a fabric flip. Now I've got this fabric here and I've got this one with a bit of green on it, so I might use that to do that. How wide is it? It needs to be wider than that. How long is it? Well, it doesn't have to be full length, does it? So let's, I might just use my pinking shears. You can use your pinking shears or you can tear it, whichever you prefer. I'm going to come all the way down. So I need to come down to about, let's, if I use a pencil, will I be able to see it? Yep. Okay. So I'm going to cut down to there to start with. Then, how wide is it? Where is it? Here we go. This is bound not to be straight. I'm as hopeless as they come cutting a straight line. And cut across here. Right, how does that look? Oh. Oh. So there we go. Should probably iron that to make it nice and flat. And okay, let's get rid of this. Now then, okay, so we're going to do that, and I'm going to cut the tabs off. I want to cut them with pinking shears. Why not? Why not, I say, why not? Oops, one's a bit long, but never mind. Okay. Okay, now to attach that fabric we can do a couple of things. We can staple it, we can glue it, we could stitch it, take it to my sewing machine and stitch across, but I'm not going to do that right now. So what I think I will do is run a bead of glue across there. Probably should use my fabric glue, my art glitter glue, because it will dry quicker. Okay, so there we have a fabric flip, and she also used some florals at the top. Now I've got some fabric florals, and I've got some paper florals. I've got a pink one here. I think I like that one. So I'm going to attach this one, and you can attach it with a staple or a hot glue gun. I'm going to try stapling this one. There we go. And I do have a pink staples in my stapler. I'm just going to flatten that down a little more. There we go. Now if you wanted to, you could put something on here as well. That's going to annoy me, and you know, after this I've done this, I'm going to go to my ironing board and iron that flat, because it's going to drive me nuts, and that kink in there is going to drive me nuts as well. Anyway, all right, now we could add some embellishment to this. We could put their stickers. I don't know about stickers. Got some fussy cut florals here. Probably something in the pink line to go with that. It's a bit too much. Something like that. It looks quite nice on there. This little container is overflowing. I need to start to use a few things. Now I'm going to ink around this. I find that the inking around your fussy cut items just makes them look so much better, because they look like they're cut very professionally. There we go. Now we could staple this in place as well if we wanted to, but I think I'm going to glue that down. Now when you're using glue and you're attaching things to fabric, you have to be careful about the fabric coming through the other side, the glue coming through the other side. So what I do generally is I'll apply my glue and then I'll just dab over it with my finger to try and smooth it out a bit, so I haven't got any big clumps of glue anywhere. And I do tend to use the glue a bit more sparingly when I'm using it with fabric. Whether that's good or bad, I'm not too sure. Sounds like the workmen are back, so I hope that's not too annoying. Okay, let me get a baby wipe to clean my fingers off, so I don't want to be putting glue everywhere. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Now with that on there, of course, that gives us writing space here and writing space on the back, so plenty of writing space there. So that's one. Now let's do well, the other thing of course that you could do is, instead of having a lace flip up, you could attach the lace firmly to your background and that way work on a lace base. Should we do that? We can, let's do that. I'm just cutting a piece of fabric off. See, using this technique, you wouldn't necessarily have to have a base that's usable. You could just apply this straight onto a piece of cardstock and save all that collaging. Okay, let's try and spread that out a little bit. And stick this down onto that. my wipe. Some glues wipe off okay and some glues don't, do they? Got a scraper here, but I'll just run over that. Make sure it's nicely attached. Then we can take our scissors and trim around it. You could use a glue stick too to stick the fabric down. Okay, so there we go. We have a fabric base now for our tag. Now we can add something to this. I think I might put that on there for our topper. I'm going to just glue it in. I probably should have my hot glue gun on for this project, but I'm going to put the glue fairly well down on the bottom half, and I'm going to stick that down, and hopefully that will, you know, make it stay in place. The top ones are not, of course, glued, so that will be that. Now, do we want a little something on that? What about just a little label and a small floral maybe? What do we got? These are stickers. I don't think I want to use a sticker. That looks right on there. And let's go back into here. What a fairly small floral. Maybe just something like that. Okay, let's ink around them. I bought these daffodils and a few other like these from a lady on Etsy, I think it was, here in Australia. I can't remember her name, and I haven't really got any way of going back and looking it up. I didn't have to keep any paperwork or anything. Now, because these are going to be stuck down and we've got a different surface on the back, I don't have to worry about how much glue is going to seep through because you won't see it. Okay, so we're around the corners. If it fits in there, that is. Not really. So if I want to round the corners, I'll have to do it by hand. I'm going to ink it. Okay, that's that one. Now this one here, I haven't inked that, so I will ink that. You could also, instead of using fabric, you could use lace and do a lace flip. That would look pretty too. Now, what else did she do? Okay. Right, now another thing that she did was a lace belly band. So I've got some lace here. So I can cut this. Once again, no guarantee that it's straight. In fact, it's definitely not straight. Now, we can glue this in place, so some glue across the top. So it's down properly. Some glue along the bottom. Pop this down onto that. I am not worried about it hanging over the top and the bottom. Like so. And then we can put a lace topper, so we could pop that there like a topper, and I'll glue staple that. Like that. I don't really like that pink staple in that instance, but not much we can do about that now. I can take it out and put a different colour staple in there. Okay, and now because this is a belly band, I can go in there like that. And I don't really want to put anything on top of the lace here. If you wanted to, you could put some ribbon or something across the bottom, a bit of lace like that across the bottom. Yeah. We could, I've got some stickers here. I wonder if they would work on that. Let's have a look. What colour do we want? I don't use stickers a lot because I don't like that shiny look. But I'll put one on here. Oh, there's two there. I'll put one on here. These are going to go into my ideas book, so probably not a bad place to use up some stickers. Aha. Just going to pop that down there and see if it sticks to it. So I haven't added any glue, which I would normally do if I'm using a sticker. Okay, so that's that one. So we've got a lace belly band and we've got a motif for our tab, and we've got a little floral sticker on there. So that's that one. Now let's have a look at some of these larger ones. What can we do on these? Rachel did some shaped ones as well, like she used circles and ovals for hers. I'm not going to do that. I don't think I would use them. So, oh, I know another thing she did. We'll do that on this one. She had a lace pocket. Oops. Okay, so I've got this. That I might use as a lace pocket. So let me cut that about there. Like that. And run some glue along here. You can add the... Okay, so my camera stopped recording. It only records for 30 minutes and then it stops and it doesn't give me any warning. So I'll just show you and describe to you exactly what I did. I stuck this down and made a little pocket there. I haven't got anything to tuck in there to show you. And I have used this motif that I've coffee dyed as the topper for my tag. Now, when I do create a little tag to go in here or something to go in there, I'll put some sort of decoration on that adds a little bit of colour. But I'm not doing that today. So that's that one. And then I went on to do this one, which is a lace side pocket. And it's got a little part of a doily. So I bought this doily at the op shop, which is a great place to go if you're looking for some doilies. And I have coffee dyed it, and then like it was a doily like this, and I've cut up all the little individual pieces out of it. So I've used that for my topper on this one, and I've added a bulb pin with a little charm, and I've got my side pocket here and that like that. I haven't inked around this one, but I will. Yeah, so that is the video for today. I will put a link, of course, in the description box to Rachel's 2 videos, and yeah, you could pop over and check her video out if you're so inclined. So that's it for today. I have really enjoyed using lace and fabric on my tags. It's not something that I do on a regular basis, so it was nice to have a bit of a play with it. A bit frilly, but very nice. You can put any sort of charm on there, of course. I just chose one out of my group. So there, I've done 5 tags today. All different. All different. So we've got our lace flip, our fabric flip with a fussy cut on it. We've got a fabric base. It's got a floral. Both of these floral. This one is glued on. This one's stapled on. Then we've got our lace belly band. It's got this little tag behind it. Got a sticker on there and a motif there. We've got our lace hanging over both ways. This one hasn't been inked either. A bit slack. I'll do that when I've finished. And then we've got this one with the lace pocket and the lace motif topper, and then this one with the side lace pocket and motif topper and a little charm. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.